Right, so this is part 2 of the cheap AM5 build. I've done part 1 where I just tested these bits here, and now I'm going to do the full build. So here, if you need a reminder or haven't watched the first part, we've got the Maxon B650 with the dual RAM, 32 gigs, and the 8400F. For the cooler, we've got a white Johnsbow CR1400 Evo, and then we've got an RM750X and a 120 gig SSD. This came in a bundle. I paid £100. Came with the B450 motherboard, Ryzen 2600, and also it came with the Corsair 16 gig kit at 3200. So yeah, £100 I paid for that, so I'm going to use that. I thought I had a spare NVMe drive, but it was actually an empty box, so for the time being I'm going to build with the SSD and then later on change to the NVMe drive later. So yeah, let's start building. Right, so you're going to connect the Johnsbow cooler. It does have ARGB, but the board doesn't have the header for it, so you're going to leave it as it is. So the cooler's on now, it's looking pretty clean. Right, so it's time for the case now. I got a Hellcracks case, not used it before, so yeah, we'll check it out. Right, so this is what the case looks like. It looks pretty decent, to be honest. I paid about £41 with shipping included. For some reason, I used Amazon, but for some reason they didn't have Prime postage on it, so I had to pay that separately. But it was £35 plus £6 postage. ARGB fans, I believe. Got the swivel tempered glass, so that's nice. Inside it's got that black look and then white outer casing. One USB 3 port, two USB 2 ports. It's got that cover to hide the PSUs, that's nice. And then it's got an exhaust fan, SATA cable for the, I'm guessing for the fans, to power the fans. Overall, nice looking case. I don't like that though, because they're that snap off ones. Use it once and it's, can't use it again. But overall, looks pretty decent, to be honest. Right, so this is what the back looks like. It's actually pretty decent for the price now. I'm looking at it from the back. Get a remote for the LED fans. Got the hub as well. I didn't realise it came with the hub. And normally with the cheap cases, you don't get these straps. So it's nice that they included that. And look at the dust cover. It's magnetic and it's got the logo on it. So that's pretty nice. So overall, I think this is actually a pretty decent case. And actually, you can use this in flip cases, but I think most people are using fish tank cases now. But if you're looking for a cheap case, yeah, check this one out. I'll put a description of it, link, whatever. And yeah, check this case out. I think it's pretty undervalued at the moment. So got the motherboard inside the case now. It is looking pretty clean. I am digging that. There is a lot of space in there because it's for ATX motherboards and not for M-ATX, but I think it still looks pretty cool. Obviously, if you want to get M-ATX cases, they're a little bit more expensive. I'm going for budget. I'm not really caring about the looks at the moment. So yeah, let's keep cracking on. Right, so I've got the wiring sorted. I just need to do the wire management properly. Not a fan of these wires showing, so I'll probably move the straps are holding the wires in place at the moment, loosen it a little bit and then put it on that side or the left side, and just hide the wires and make it a little bit tidy. Obviously these wires, I can't do nothing about them because it's an M-ATX motherboard, and yeah, those wires are gonna come through like this. If it was ATX, would have come all the way through there, and then the wires would have just been just a little bit, it would have been just through there. But yeah, what can you do? It's time for the GPU now. So for the GPU, we've gone for the 5700 XT. That's all I've got in my stock, apart from my personal 6700 XT. I think I paid £112. In this day and age, I probably won't recommend getting a 5700 XT anymore unless you're going for a budget, really budget AM4 build. But because it's an AM5 build, it's got a bit more power, and it will have more power once I upgrade the CPU. It's best getting a card with 12 gigs at least, like a 3060 or a 6700 XT or the ARC B580. Just pay a little bit more and get that, and you should have a all-round decent machine. I did pick this up a few months ago. I never tested it. I just realised this is bent, so I need to put this back in place and yeah, get this all working. So yeah, let's put this in and test it. So the GPU is installed now, and it's time for the first post. Let's hope it works, because the power supply was used, and that's the reason why I went with the whole white theme, because I got that used at a really good price. I thought I'll go white with the rest of the components. So yeah, oh, what happened there? Did you see that? Got the BIOS screen and then it just turned off. Okay, so something's happening, but I haven't got the boot drive in at the moment, so I need to do that and see what happens. So it's just boot cycling. So we've got something, but it's not it's not going to go into the BIOS because it's crap, like I said. So what I'll do is it's getting crazy. So this is what happens when I was talking about the BIOS being corrupted. So it's working, the machine is working fine, but the BIOS is corrupted. It can't do nothing. Look at the arrow. I'm moving my mouse and it gets stuck like that, and I can't upgrade the BIOS, because when I plug it in to do that BIOS upgrade, it says there's a protection that I need to turn off in the BIOS, but I can't get into the BIOS to upgrade it. So yeah, this is why I'm using this as a budget build, because it works as it is, but I can't upgrade the BIOS and can't do nothing else with it. So there you guys go. You can see I got a picture now because I've got the boot drive in there. I'm going to set all of that up in my own time, and then we'll do the benchmarks. But if you look at the case, I'm really liking it. Look at this. This looks solid. And if I had ARGB header, or I've got a connector to do the whole ARGB stuff, but I'm going to leave it as it is because it's going to be a testing rig. Well, for now I say testing rig because I've got I'm looking at other boards on AliExpress and I want to do another build, so I might sell this because it actually looks pretty nice. I'll sell it off cheap because obviously motherboard BIOS issue, but overall it should still gain, but you can't do the overclocking and stuff. That's the only problem. But other than that, this looks amazing. I think could easily sell quite easily, to be honest. Look at that. Once I got all the wiring done, it looked pretty clean. So I still need to test the GPU because I haven't done that. I bought it for a couple of months ago and I never used it, so I need to do all that. It would have been nice if I had like a white GPU. I might even paint it if I have time, but I'm not sure. If I have time, I'll do it. But yeah, look at that. Looks clean. Nice, I'm loving it. So what I'm going to do, get some games on and do some benchmarks. Right, so in the end I did upgrade to the NVMe drive, got it from Amazon, next day delivery. It was on sale, 512 gigs, Gen 4, paid about £26. Right, so we're playing Counter-Strike at 1080p. I don't really play this game, so let's see how we get on. But just a quick test really, there's no like benchmarks or anything like that, but you can see the FPS, 1080p high, and we're getting around 200-ish. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what kind of... I'm getting dominated. I'm not sure if you play like this. Again, I'm playing Delta Force actually, to be honest, right now. Yeah, I died. You can see the FPS is doing pretty well. 5700 XT I think is still a decent GPU, but I think we should really pair it with a better GPU these days, because it is getting on a bit. We've got the new one coming out soon, but overall it's still, for esports, I mean, if you're playing esports you don't really need an AM5 system. It's best going for an AM4, save a bit of money and go that route. But if you're playing new, high-end games, new AAA games, it's best getting the AM5 build. If you're going to be spending quite a bit on your graphics card, might as well spend a little bit more on your AM5 system instead of going the AM4 route. It is getting on a bit. It's still decent with the X3D CPUs, but AM5 is probably the best way to go. But you can see the FPS is like hovering all over the place, like 200 plus 200, just more than enough. I died again. Okay, so the next game is definitely Stillness. Let's look at the settings. We've got everything set to ultra high, 1080p. This is like a small mini game. I've only got a USB stick that I'm using to do the game testing. Maybe I should get a bigger drive so we can do like latest games. But yeah, we're getting around 200 on this, pretty decent. So if you're playing like older titles, this like system is way more than enough. But we need to test like a AAA game and see how that gets on. So what I'm going to do is test a benchmark tool, Wukong. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Right, so we've got the Wukong benchmark running, 1080p again, everything set to low.
and we're actually getting decent FPS on this benchmark, just over 100 FPS, which is pretty decent. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be like close to 60. So this GPU is pretty decent. But again, with benchmark tools, they don't stress out the CPU and GPU. You want to do like proper game testing, but this kind of gives you an overall picture of how it's going to perform. It might actually perform a little bit lower than how we're getting in this game, but with FrameGen, FSR and stuff like that, you can enable them and get better result. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with the way the system is running. My kind of goal with this machine was to use it as my testing rig for the new GPUs that are coming out, but with the pricing that I saw with Nvidia and all the GPU performance on the 5090 and 5080, I'll probably avoid it because I think they're being a bit too greedy. So I'll probably stick with the AMD card. And with this machine, I was going to use it as the testing rig, but what I'm going to do, as I'm a flipper, I'm going to sell it, put it up for sale, and let's see if I get a good, if I make a profit on it, I can make a better PC. I want to do that because at the moment the motherboard, I can't get into the BIOS, so I'm not getting SAM, I'm not getting Expo, PBO and all of that stuff, so that's going to affect the performance. So at the moment I'm debating selling this or getting a new motherboard and a new CPU, because the 8400F was just a bit of a testing CPU. I was going to upgrade it to 7400F or the 7500F if I can get it for a decent price. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, once the new 9070 XT comes out, we'll buy that new if we can grab it. Hopefully they do have stock, and we'll test it with the new system. So I think the benchmark's coming to an end. Let's see what results we get. So we've got overall average 106 FPS, maximum 127, minimum 70. And overall you can see all the results here. I did turn off motion blur and all of that stuff, but you can see sorry, I got a bit of a cough. You can see all the other details here. But yeah, what we'll do now is I'll tot up the items and you can see how much the build costs. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. If you have any questions, write them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.